Back to Capitol Hill though now to hear from Congressman Kevin Hern from Oklahoma, representing the Tulsa area. Congressman Hern, we just heard from Speaker Pelosi. It sounds like things are going to move forward toward a vote on some articles of impeachment. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, this is something that the Speaker's been talking about now for months, that she wanted to have the president impeached by Christmas, and so she's actually moved that timeline up even more so. After one day in the Judiciary Committee, it's almost, it's sad for America that we don't listen to all the information that we've got, all the evidence. We have constitutional attorneys come in, or excuse me, lawyers come in from elite law schools. And again, after 12 of the committee hearings, or 12 of the people in the committees and also the constitutional attorneys, nobody's got firsthand knowledge of anything, unlike the other two impeachments we've gone through in our lifetime. So it's very troubling. When I go back to the district, Americans in my district and in the state of Oklahoma are wanting us to move forward and get on with doing America's work, creating jobs and having the opportunity to get a T&I bill. How about even funding our government? We still don't have a funding bill to go through and keep our government open through Christmas.
You serve on the Small Business Committee. What are the concerns about getting a budget finally passed? There's a deadline coming up here in just a couple of weeks on December 20th.
Also serve on the Budget Committee, and we produced a budget back early in the year and got it to the Speaker, and she didn't want to put it on the floor, and so we kept working, and we haven't done regular order at all. And then in July we pushed a budget to get the top line numbers, and then we came back and still haven't got our 12 appropriations bills done, and now we're working on that now. But it doesn't look like we're going to have it done before Christmas, and so we're coming up close on a government shutdown again.
Congressman Hern from the Tulsa area, you kind of mentioned the folks back home momentarily, but what's your sense when you're back there for the Thanksgiving break of where people are on this?
Well, I think if you were against the president before this happened, you're still against him, and if you're for him, you're still for him. And it's as with politics. This is my first year in politics, and what you're really working at is the middle ground, and you continue to see the independents moving away from the impeachment. They understand that nobody's above the law, but they really want to get on. They don't see anything there. The president's not a politician. Never said he was going to be a politician. So because he didn't use the word corrupt in his conversation, and what we found out now going forward, what we have learned in all of this, if you're in an administration and you do something really bad, all you got to do to absolve yourself from any kind of wrongdoing going forward is just run against the sitting president, and therefore, especially if you're of the party that's in control of the House, and you will not have to worry about ever being held accountable for your bad deeds.
Can you tell us what kind of guidance the Republican leaders in the House have given your conference in terms of what may be ahead and votes in the House on articles of impeachment, how the House Republicans will respond specifically on the House floor?
We haven't. The conversation has been that Nancy Pelosi was indicating early on Monday and her staff that this would go beyond Christmas. We saw that in all the news reports. Now today we learned that forget that, we're going to go ahead and do it today. And so it's almost been made a mockery of the whole process, picking an artificial deadline and then having everything work to that deadline so that people have to go home Christmas and the articles of impeachment are done. The Speaker is afraid, immensely afraid, that when people go home, and she saw this over Thanksgiving, she sees the polls slipping, that her members, the people that are at risk in the 31 districts that President Trump won, they're now held by Democrats, they see that those are slipping, and she can't allow that to happen because she needs her 233 votes.
At the Tulsa World, TulsaWorld.com, and their headline on this Associated Press article, Across the Capitol Impeachment Saga Shifts. Congressman Hern, how frustrating is it for you in terms of getting legislative priorities that you have? What are some of those in terms of getting some debate on that?
Well, I don't know if it's frustrating. It should be sad for all Americans that we haven't got our government funded, and here we are running up against these artificial deadlines, and now here we are again not having funding, and the threat of a shutdown like we had last year through the Christmas holidays. And then like last year where it was a partial shutdown, this would be a full government shutdown because the Speaker hasn't done anything to get the 12 appropriations bills done in regular order. Health care is a #1 issue across America. We haven't really done anything there. Drug prices being high, we haven't done anything there. The transportation infrastructure bill, we haven't done anything there. How about that we haven't funded our National Defense Authorization Confirmation Act for the first time in 58 years. Our men and women are unknowing what's going on there. There's just so many things, and it's just been all-consuming. The hallways are full of impeachment conversation. The press is all about impeachment processes, and we're not doing. Could you imagine if we spent this kind of energy actually doing the work for all Americans, what we could get done in this country?
Congressman Kevin Hern, Republican from Oklahoma, representing the Tulsa area. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Here's the Associated